All right, welcome back to the Buckmaster Show. Our monthly interview segment featuring the monthly Scam Alert is with us, presented by the Better Business Bureau of Southern Arizona. We welcome to the Buckmaster Show the Director of Communication and Consumer Affairs at the Better Business Bureau, Suzanne Miller. Suzanne, how are you?
I'm great, Bill. How are you?
Doing very well. It's vacation time. Some of us are thinking about getting away, and I know I'm not alone in that regard. And it also is a time scammers know that people are thinking about getting away.
Sure, they're pre-planning too. That's it hit the 100 mark on Friday, so I know it's going to get a little bit cooler, but that makes people start to think about their vacation plans for the summer. So yes, we definitely want to make sure that they do their due diligence and stay safe.
What can the Better Business Bureau tell us about some good advice about keeping yourself safe and avoiding some travel-related scams?
Well, whether you're looking for a good deal, planning on annual holiday trips, or just have decided that you need that summer vacation from our Arizona heat, we want to plan ahead and save money, avoid scams, and travel safely. So BBB has really come up with some tips to share with you, but know that scammers commonly target people looking for great deals online by offering those tempting vacation packages at unrealistically low prices. You got to think about that. If it's, I love it, Bill. You say it every time. If it sounds too good to be true.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I get these calls
is.
all the time. I get them at home. I get them on the cell phone. You've just won a trip to the Bahamas.
Lovely.
All you need to do is call this particular number and give us some information.
Right, just a little information, like, your credit card information.
Exactly.
Your
Maybe
mailing
your
address.
Social security number, and on it goes.
Right.
So, you got to be very careful.
Could quickly spiral.
And, find a very good travel agency, one of our fine sponsors here, Bon Voyage Travel, someone that has been in the business a long time and very reliable. Be careful of some of these other folks.
And that's key, Bill. Right there is what you were saying is, you are a great reference for someone that's trusted. And that's the key. Use people that you trust to help you with the plans.
Let's talk about some of the plans, beginning with how it all starts. A great journey, Suzanne, begins with just one step at a time and one step forward, right?
Right.
So we need to start thinking about planning ahead. I happen to be a very early bird planner.
Oh,
one of those, right?
I think that's fantastic. Personally, I think, that's really where you're given enough time to find the best deals, but do your research while you're finding those deals. So we have a few tips on kind of how to do that. Obviously, starting with BBB.org and the directory is another way to find sources that you trust. If you don't have friends and family that are giving you referrals, start there. So, and what is the saying? The early bird gets the worm?
Yes, something like that, and very true. When you do these kind of broad internet searches, be very careful about that. For instance, if you were just to put in, say, Hawaii or something like that, be careful before you click on a particular site.
Right. And be careful of the search words that you use, like you had mentioned. So when you do a broad search and you say, hey, I want the best deal, and your keyword is best deal, okay.
Yeah, watch
well,
that.
that's just key for scammers. So they're like, oh, hook and sink right there. We're going to get them. So you want to be careful about that. Just be careful with the words that you use for those. And when you do your homework, make sure that you research the business and research where you're going. If you're using a travel agency and they sign you up for a condo and you go to, purchase that online, research the actual neighborhood and the community beforehand. Check out the ratings. Read the reviews that other people have written. That's really key. And When you're going online and you're looking at the hotels, the flights, the areas that you're going to be staying, really look at everything around you. Making reservations in advance also locks the rates and prevents you from paying those higher prices that seem to be, prime time past spring break. But, the summertime, that's busy time. So you want to make sure that you just plan ahead and think about things as you proceed in these step-by-steps. Do the research before you pay any deposits and make sure you have a good contract in place.
Watch out for the fine print. That should be something we talk about almost every week, or every month when you come on, because you're going to put down money, in some cases a lot of money on a deposit. And find out what are some of the qualifications with that deposit.
Right. You want to know what their cancellation and refund policies are. That's so important because life happens. So it could be on their end. It could be on our end. You never know. And so I would really consider the travel insurance, for trip cancellations, medical emergencies. There's different levels of coverage, so you don't always have to get the most, but it's always nice to kind of have that in your pocket. And
it's not that expensive. I've been a big proponent over the years of my travel with travel insurance. It just gives you a nice feeling. I mean, there's all sorts of levels. You can have there's evacuation, medical evacuation. It goes on and on. But I think some kind of basic coverage is important.
Absolutely. I think it's really important, and I always take advantage of it as well.
And credit cards.
Yeah, pay with your credit card. I think that's a big one because it gives you a lot of additional protection if something should go wrong, and especially with your reservations.
How about social media?
So when you are out and about and you're actually traveling and you're enjoying yourself, it's hard for me, but we always recommend that you wait to post on social media because you just don't want everybody, the scammers, to know your location or that you're not at home. So, or if you're out and about, where they could, attract, thieves potentially. So just be really careful about. Don't give too much detail about when you'll be away and when your home will be empty, because you really, you could attract those that you do not want in your home while you're gone.
Make sure your home insurance is up to date before you travel.
Yes, and because you have different policies. Again, it goes the same thing. There's different layers. So, we all like to share our vacation adventures with everyone. But if your home will be unattended while you are away, make sure you know your responsibilities under your home insurance policy. Some policies do not cover damage if nobody checks on your home for a certain amount of time.
And make sure you have an itinerary, and make sure a family member has your itinerary.
Yes.
Or a friend. It can be someone you trust.
Absolutely.
And again, there's that word trust. Make sure it's somebody that with one phone call that, you've got all that information. If you're traveling overseas, a copy of your passport information with a family member or friend is also critical.
Everything that you need a copy of, they need a copy of.
That's exactly right. And when you're in the hotel, make sure that hotel has a safe in your room if possible.
Right. Yes, because it's so, it's easy to just leave something on, the side table there, but, you just don't know who's going to be in there. And that's how fraud happens. They may not even take anything, but they'll take your information. So definitely, get everything all locked away in a safe place before you leave your room.
Probably the best place to go to find out more and to get it all put together for you is your wonderful website at the Better Business Bureau.
It's a great resource just to find travel agencies. If you don't have referrals from friends and family, you can, look at reviews. You can just take your time to make sure that certain locations, especially say it's a timeshare, you can look into that information. You can check Scam Tracker to see if, if you're hearing about a great deal, check on Scam Tracker to see if, others have heard of that great deal too, and it's a scam. It's really important to do your research.
And if you are on vacation and you're approached about a timeshare, be cautious.
Great advice, Bill.
You be cautious about it, and you're in a good mood. You're in an exotic place, perhaps, and you're relaxed. You're thinking, "Oh man, maybe this would be a great place to come back to all the time." You don't need to hurry into a decision.
And
Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, because you have time before you come back. So
exactly.
Make sure that you can get their information, but that doesn't mean that you need to sign on the dotted line.
So where can we get more information from the Better Business Bureau?
Well, we're going to have some information up on our site, just so that our Southern Arizona community can have a reference before they get started. So go to our news and events page, and you'll find it there where you can get all of these tips that we've talked about and more. And keep following us on Facebook, because we post several times a day and that's all about scam alerts and news information that will keep you safe.
And you post our interviews too here on the Buckmaster
Absolutely.
Show. So, sounds great. Suzanne Miller, always a pleasure, and safe travels to you and all of our listeners.
Safe travel to you to Hawaii.
Yeah, Kauai, here we come. Thank you very much, Suzanne. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.